Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hello Dave. I have a bunch of stuff to talk about this week. Very quickly, some news from Frontier. Last week, it was announced that they're going to make a undisclosed number of layoffs. I talked about this in a recent video, how Frontier is not doing too well financially, how I think it's going to affect the company going forward, what kind of decisions I feel like they're going to have to make. This is unfortunately a natural consequence of that they're now trying to slim down the company so that they can focus on their core. We don't know how many people there's going to be laid off. We don't know what type of employees. Is it purely administrative personnel, or they're also going to be laying off game developers? We don't know. All that we know is that they have round about 800 employees today, before the layoffs, and how many is going to go, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I haven't seen any official numbers. Really sad to see, but we'll see how this is going to affect Elite Dangerous and the company going forward. A while back in a Hello Dave, I did mention that I was going to stop streaming on Twitch. You might remember that, and I did that because Twitch made some changes to their terms of service, saying that you would no longer be able to what they call simulcast or dual cast to two platforms at the same time. In the past, that clause has only been something they have forced on their on either their partners or their affiliates. So if you're making money through Twitch, then they would put this clause in saying you can't dual stream. That's why I've never been affiliated with Twitch. I never had any monetization on my Twitch because they had that. But a while back, they expanded that clause to go so that it now affected everybody, so that no one was allowed to multi-stream to any platforms. And it was at that point that I made the decision to just stop streaming on Twitch and focus 100% on YouTube. Now, Twitch is now rolling back that decision, saying that now everybody, partners and affiliates alike, are allowed to multi-stream to multiple platforms. This is a great change. I was reading through the announcement that they had like an FAQ underneath, which was nice. And there was a few things in there that I found to be a little odd. First of all, one of the things that they say is that you are not allowed, if you are multi-streaming to multiple platforms or dual streaming, you are not allowed to serve a lesser product on Twitch than you do on the other platform. Okay, so that means if you are streaming to two platforms, you have to pay as much attention to the audience on Twitch as you have to do on your other platforms. You can't just only talk to people on one of the platforms and then ignore people on Twitch. Not allowed to do that. That's one thing. But they also mention in like just the raw quality of the video that you're streaming to them, that you're not allowed to serve a lower quality stream with the less frames, less like resolution, less bit rate than you do on other platforms. Makes sense. They don't want to be the second hand, like the secondary platform, right? They want to be at least equal to any other platform. That one I found a little odd, because if you go in and look at at Twitch's own recommendation, they recommend for a 1080p 60 FPS live stream, they recommend 6 megabits per second of stream. So you push 6 megabits of second up towards Twitch, and that's their recommended. And it will actually shout at you if you begin to push much more than that. However, if you go to YouTube, for the same resolution, the same frame rate, YouTube recommends all the way up to 10 megabits. Now, I'm actually streaming at around 7.5. I feel like that's a good balance, but it's high enough that Twitch has for years now been shouting at me saying, you're streaming at a too high bit rate. You should lower it. You're in this weird situation where Twitch is recommending a lower bit rate, but so that means that you would actually have, so in order to comply with this rule that you have to have the same quality on all platforms, you have to lower your quality on other platforms, which seems a little odd. The other one that I also found to be super restrictive and was kind of hidden as one of the last bullet points in the FAQ is that if you use third-party tools like Restream to combine chats and put them on screen. I did that in the past, I don't do it anymore, but in the past, I would have my chat running on screen. And if you're streaming to two platforms, it would be natural to use a tool like Restream, where you can take the chats from different platforms and merge it into one chat channel, so that you can get all the chat messages from both platforms on screen at the same time. No, Twitch says you're not allowed to do that. If you have chat on screen, it must only be Twitch chat. You cannot have any other platforms and their chats shown on screen as well. Now, they haven't mentioned specifically about like banner notifications. So let's say that I'm streaming to two platforms and somebody makes a donation on YouTube and a banner shows up. They didn't mention that specifically, and I guess that's a gray area, but it's still a little. It was a little weird. For those of you who may be streaming as well, I thought you would find that interesting. And if any of you are wondering whether I'm going to begin streaming on Twitch as well, the answer is no. I'm going to stick to YouTube. Okay, over in Star Citizen, we already got update 321. I feel like update 320 has only been out for like a week or two. It just came out basically. But now we got the next patch. 321 is already out with, of course, CitizenCon running the weekend that just passed. I'm recording this Sunday evening. There's actually some of the sections, some of the panels are running right now. So I haven't seen all of them. But patches out for this. They added a number of new things. They have the 3 new rest stops at the 3 jump points that is now in Stanton. There's one for the Pyro, one for Magnus, and one for Terra. So those three jump gates are now in the game. The jump gates are obviously not active. The systems are not actually, like, the new systems are not actively in the game yet. But the rest stops, the station out there is active. You can go and look at the jump gates and stuff like that. And we're expecting Pyro to be added in update 4, which should be beginning of next year, at least the first half of next year is what's expected for that. They also added a new ship. It's the Crusader Industries A1 Spirit. It is the smaller sister for the A2. If you know, the A2 is the big bomber that would drop big bombs, everything explode. There's now a little sister to that ship called the A1 that has smaller bombs. So if you like the A1, if you like flying, dropping bombs on people, you can now do it in smaller and faster ships. And they added one change that, in my opinion, is probably the best quality of life upgrade they've done in this update. They now added the support for players to sell things owned by fleet members without it being considered stolen. So as it worked prior to 321, if I was, let's say, playing with someone else and I was out mining or salvaging stuff, and they come in their cargo ship, we transfer all the salvage cargo over to their ship so they could go and sell it while I continue the salvage. They couldn't actually just go and sell it because it would be considered illegal and stolen cargo. Even though we were in a wing or a fleet together, it would still be considered stolen. They couldn't sell it. That has now changed, so if you're selling things that's owned by a member of your active party or wing or whatever, then you can sell it just as normal as if it were your own. And the idea, of course, is to be more supportive around fleet industrial play, where people might be moving cargo around between each other and going and selling it together and then transferring money. Like, I really like it. It's one of the side of Star Citizen that I think it does so extremely well, is to have this group industrial play where you have ships with different roles that solve different tasks to effective, right? Have basically like a little production line in space, if you will, where some people are extracting resources and some people are transporting them around and some people are doing other things. That's super nice. So good to see that they got this change in, which is normally just a small thing, but it adds so much to the game. Now, as I said, CitizenCon is also running right now, and there has been panels all of Saturday and all of Sunday. As I said, I'm recording this here Sunday evening, EU time, meaning that there are still panels that haven't finished, that hasn't concluded. So I haven't seen all of it yet, and I didn't see a lot of the panels Saturday, and I haven't caught up to them yet. I've been reading like memos of them. Obviously, there has been, I think right now, like 9 hours of panel talks showing different aspects of the game, from character creation to everything. Nowhere nearly possible for me to cover everything in a Hello Dave, so I boiled it down to the point that I think is the most interesting. And I've also tried to focus on things that is relatively short-sighted, so things that we can expect to see in the near future, not really focus on all the big things that they say will come at some point in the future without a specific time for when it's out, because that could be years, we don't know. One of the things that I'm personally very excited about, and I think a lot of you guys who play Star Citizen will too, map overhaul is finally coming. They showed, the new map has been showed as one of the panels. It looks amazing. I am so glad this map is finally getting an overhaul. It's a pain to use and it's been buggy and annoying for quite a while. But they're not just doing a graphical overhaul, it's not just a UX overhaul. They're also adding some very, very requested features. For instance, now you're going to be able to share bookmarks. So if you are at a specific location, you can bookmark that spot, and you can then share that bookmark with a friend. So if you need to meet up at a specific point, you can just share bookmarks between each other, and then you can all meet up at that specific point without having to first have one jump there and sit and wait while the other one quantums toward them, stuff like that. Those bookmarks can also now be sold to other players, which is also very interesting. Why would you sell bookmarks? Well, imagine this situation. You're out mining, you're running around, you're prospecting, you're looking for a good rock to mine. You come across a really, really good rock, but it's too big for you to go and mine. You can bookmark it then. Maybe you don't have the equipment there, don't have a big enough mining ship to go and mine it. Bookmark it and sell it to a player or an organization that has a good enough fleet of ships to actually go and crack that rock open and take all the valuable resources inside. So that's nice. Also, now when you're doing first-person stuff, you now get a mini-map so you can see the area. When you go into a new area you haven't seen before, you won't initially have the mini-map. You have to go and explore, and then the map will be revealed. Basically, have a fog of war system in there, so that slowly gets revealed as you move around. For certain areas, you're also going to be able to just buy exploration data. So let's say you are arriving in a new city that you haven't been to before. There'll be kiosks where you can go and say, I just want to pay a few in-game credits and I'll get the map for the city. I just go to the kiosk and say, well, can I get the tourist map, please? Thank you. And that map can then also be used to plot route to different stores. So if you say, oh, I really want to go and visit the gun shop. Okay, there's the gun shop, and it will trace a path on the mini-map for you so you can easily find your way around cities. It's going to help players a lot, and I hope it's something they're going to implement into the tutorial, teaching players how to set those routes, and it makes it easier for people to locate the starport, which is also a big hurdle for new players when they start out. So that's awesome to see, and I think it's a nice change. A number of new ships have also been introduced into the game. Some of them announced, some of them are coming very soon. We have the RSI Zeus. They come in 3 variants, much like they do with the Aurora. They come in an ES, MR, and CL, with the ES, the Zeus ES being an Explorer version, MR being combat focused, and the CL being more cargo oriented. Those are just announced and not really in game yet. The other ship that we're expecting to see, I'm not sure if you can play it in 321 or if it's in 322. I mean, I actually not sure, I have to go and check that. But Cutter Scout is coming out too. We already have the Drake Cutter in the game. It doesn't seem like it's necessarily a smaller version. It's just a different version of the Cutter that has like some scanning equipment and stuff like that. So it's just a slightly different focused version of the Drake Cutter that's also been in. But as I said, there's a lot more stuff going on in CitizenCon that I'm not going to be able to cover here, and there's still panels that haven't been finished that I'm not going to be able to cover, obviously, either, as they for me happen in the future. Finally, I need to talk about live streams. As you may be able to hear, I can hear my voice is beginning to fail right now. I got COVID. I took a test today. I got COVID. It's affecting my voice, as you can hear. It's getting a little rough, even though I've only been sitting here recording for 15 minutes now. And my voice is already beginning to fail. That means that depending on how I feel tomorrow, maybe there won't be a live stream. I think it's likely there won't be a live stream because 2 hours and my voice is gone. Absolutely, I don't think I'm going to last that long. If I feel okay, then I will be live streaming. We're going to be looking at the 321 update if I get the chance. But I'm not going to absolutely destroy my voice for it. But if my voice haven't improved by tomorrow, I'm going to have to push the live stream, maybe even cancel it, depending on how long this lasts. I don't know, but pay attention to Discord. I'll be posting over there if I go live. If not, then, well, voice is still a bit of a problem. That's good for today. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys in space.